Now it's 6:30. New developments from Nelsonville City Council. Why one council member is leaving after less than a month on the job.
Plus, breaking news out of New York. A ruling in the defamation case against former President Donald Trump. How much he has to pay up.
And in sports, a Nelsonville York Buckeye has written her name in the record books. Hear how much this record-breaking moment means to her. Newswatch starts right now.
Good evening. Thanks for tuning in to Newswatch. I'm Haley Swano.
And I'm Cameron Nutt. We've been following the ongoing drama in Nelsonville City Hall for months, and this week, the city is now taking the next steps to settle a lawsuit with a private citizen. Gary Hunter sued the city in 2023 over claims he wasn't paid for legal services he provided to the city. It involved the water and sewer plant project. Now, 8 months after the suit was filed, City Council is directing the city manager to begin settling that lawsuit. The city manager says the city is ready to move on.
We're cleaning up a lot of things that need to be cleaned up, and we're moving forward, and then we can put this behind us. So we want to get our house in order because there's a lot of things we need to do in the future with the city.
The city expects it to be settled in the next 2 months. Also, at Monday's meeting, council member Greg Smith announced he is resigning as city council president. Smith says he has health issues that make it hard to serve in a leadership role, but he will stay on the council. Smith was reelected to council in November after he was kicked off 4 times in the past 2 years. He sued the city after each of those removals. Just this month, he dropped all outstanding legal actions against the city. The council appointed Rita Wynn as the new council president.
Amesville is asking residents what they want out of their trash and recycling services. The village is hosting a forum to discuss whether to join a Council of Governments, or COG, focused on solid waste cleanup. The COG would be between the cities of Athens, Logan, Nelsonville, and Amesville, along with the Athens-Hocking Solid Waste District and Athens-Hocking Recycling Centers. The forum will be held on Tuesday at 16 State Street at 6:30 p.m.
Nearly a third of Ohioans rent their homes, and cities across the state are working to develop laws to protect tenants' rights. Lima is developing rental registry programs documenting contact information for landlords. City Councilwoman Carla Thompson says this action will target landlords who may force residents to accept unsafe housing conditions. It will also require more inspections for landlords to help ensure tenant safety. You'll be able to hop on a free bus ride in Athens and the surrounding cities this February. Hocking Athens Perry Community Action, along with the City of Athens, is offering a free fare day to all on February 16th. Athens public transit buses operate in Athens, Albany, Nelsonville, and the Plains and the village of Chauncey. HAPCAP is encouraging citizens to take advantage of the free transportation and get familiarized with Athens public transit, while also supporting community members working in transportation.
Well, Cambridge police are organizing a second search party tomorrow for 74-year-old Jeffrey Foltz. Foltz went missing from Cambridge in early November. He's listed on the National Missing Person list, described as a 5 feet 11 inches tall black man, weighing roughly 150 pounds. Those willing to help search can meet at 2 p.m. tomorrow in the parking lot of Encore Plastics in Cambridge. Police are encouraging anyone with information to contact them. Ohio Governor Mike DeWine is introducing a new 2-year statewide suicide prevention program. Suicide rates across Ohio have been seeing an upward tick since 2021, and the Recovery Ohio initiative is partnering with the Ohio Suicide Prevention Program to combat stigma associated with mental health and provide support. They plan to promote life-saving strategies, enhance health care, and provide access and support to grieving families coping with the loss of a loved one to suicide. If you or a loved one is struggling with thoughts of suicide or need to talk to someone, call 988 for 24/7 access to mental health care.
And for our first look at weather tonight, you can see it's been a pretty nice day out there. That temperature high of 59. It has been on that cloudy side, but for temperatures wise, it's been feeling beautiful here in southeast Ohio for being in January. Looking at those temperatures throughout these last 24 hours, you could see even last night, we are looking at temperatures into the low 60s. Now looking more into the day today, we're going into those consistent mid 50s, even on that Ohio, West Virginia border, they were pretty consistent in those low 60s temperatures. Those temperatures right now, Athens 55, Huntington still on that 60, Parkersburg at 57. Currently out there, we're looking at 54 degrees. Those chilly temperatures are starting to take over. That humidity is at 70%. That is going to be taking over going into tonight. That warm, moist air that we've been experiencing is going to be going into these next few days and giving us some rain in these next few days. You're going to be seeing the cloud coverage that we've been seeing these last couple of days still continuing into tomorrow in this little peep of what's to come for this weekend. Looking at this flood advisory that we're going to be experiencing going Saturday into Sunday, we're going to be having upwards of an inch of rain here in parts of southeast Ohio and a lot for West Virginia. I'll be getting into how this flood watch is going to be affecting your weekend here in southeast Ohio. Let's take it back to Ailey.
Thanks, Isabel. Well, the temperatures may be warm, but southeast Ohio is still at risk for the common cold. So what tricks can you use for prevention and which ones are just rumors? Mandy Gaither separates fact from fiction on staying healthy during virus season.
When it comes to the common cold, it's a story that's passed through generations. Vitamin C can prevent or cure symptoms, but is it fact or fiction?
Vitamin C is not a silver bullet. It's not gonna be magical and get you just over this cold.
Dr. Jesse Bracamonte with Mayo Clinic says that while there's no research proving vitamin C can stop you from getting or feeling sick, there are some studies which suggest it may help relieve symptoms sooner, but only by about 10%. Regardless, he says vitamin C is an important part of health.
It helps collagen formation. It helps tissues heal. It helps protein and muscle form and stay healthy. It helps your immune system work well. So that's what vitamin C does.
It's found in foods like citrus fruits, berries, peppers, tomatoes, and broccoli.
The average orange has about 50 milligrams of vitamin C. So an orange, a strawberry, some of that, just nature's way of getting vitamin C should be enough to sustain you.
If you want to get more vitamin C, Bracamonte says supplements may be helpful, but to see a doctor before taking them.
Too much of anything is not a good thing.
And if you're looking for relief from a cold, you may just need some patience.
I just tell people old-fashioned thyme, rest, chicken soup can also be the best medicine.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
The Athens City County Health Department is still giving COVID-19 vaccinations, and you can schedule your appointment today by calling 740-592-4431. Well, coming up, breaking news on the New York trial between E. Jean Carroll and former President Trump.
And it's a battle on the hardwood tonight across southeast Ohio.
It's been nice to take away that umbrella for these last couple of days, but we're definitely going to be needing them going into this weekend. Next on Newswatch.
Next time on Benjamin Franklin.
We pledge our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor.
Revolution.
Choosing sides means choosing fates.
Diplomacy.
Franklin had to convince one monarch to help the Americans overthrow another monarch.
And a final cause.
It's the first debate in American history on slavery.
Don't miss the conclusion of Benjamin Franklin.
Tonight at 9 on WOUB.
Thanks to viewers like you, we've been able to tell America's stories on this PBS station. Help us continue to tell these stories now and for future generations by including this station in your charitable plans.
Supporting this PBS station through a gift in your will is easy. To find out more, call the number on your screen or visit this website. Thank you.
Are you kidding me?
No.
That's insane.
On Finding Your Roots, Eliza Schlesinger.
I always thought I had a very small family that almost came out of nowhere.
And Bob Odenkirk.
Oh, I wish my mom could hear this.
An ancestor's courage.
She left her whole family.
She paid for her own ticket.
I'm emotional.
And a royal affair.
Duke of Plune.
She was the Duke's mistress.
Oh, that is crazy.
Tuesday at 8 on WOUB.
Next time on Antiques Roadshow, we've got bling,
He is really the godfather of American Indian jewelry.
bronzes,
One of his claims to fame is that Auguste Rodin was his assistant.
and the biggest find of the season.
Was it well known that your grandmother had a crush on Teddy Ballgame?
Yeah.
Watch Antiques Roadshow next time from Old Sturbridge Village.
Monday at 8 on WOUB.
We are following breaking news out of New York. Just an hour and a half ago, a jury decided former President Donald Trump must pay over $80 million to E. Jean Carroll for calling her sexual assault allegations a lie. The trial to determine how much money he would have to pay has been going on for weeks. Last year, a judge found Trump guilty for damaging her reputation. This payment is in connection to that case.
And the ruling comes as Trump and Nikki Haley continue to battle it out for the Republican presidential nomination. Yet, this fall's presidential nominees seem like they might already be decided. Karen Kaifa is in Washington with a look at a potential rematch and who's still in the race.
Days after New Hampshire's first in the nation primary, President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump both looking ahead to a November rematch.
The economic growth is stronger than we had during the Trump administration.
We're way up on everybody. We're way up on Biden.
But Trump still has a GOP primary challenger, and supporters of former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley say Trump shouldn't pivot yet.
She's got momentum in her home state. She's going to have the cash to fight for the next month.
A Republican National Committee draft resolution that would have formally declared Trump the presumptive party nominee was swiftly withdrawn amid backlash, including pushback from the former president himself, who reportedly went back on his initial support of the resolution once the backlash began, writing on Truth Social that he wants to, quote, finish the process off at the ballot box. An RNC spokesperson said the resolution was brought forward by a committee member, not the committee chairwoman, Ronna McDaniel, and was not the position of the committee. Pointing to more than $2 million raised since Tuesday's New Hampshire contest, Haley told Fox News Friday she let McDaniel know she was disappointed at the chairwoman's suggestion she drop out of the race when she argues the GOP primary race is far from finished.
Only 2 states have voted. We have 48 states left. You can't go and discount all of those voters who want to vote in this election. We're going to keep going as long as we keep growing.
In Washington, I'm Karen Kaifa.
Well, Ohio's primary is set for March 19th, and Ohioans can register to vote in those elections by February 20th. You can go to ohiosos.gov and click on Elections for information on how to register. Well, a debate over putting new voting laws on the November ballot continues in Ohio. This comes as Attorney General Dave Yost rejects a citizen group's petition for the second time. Yost says the language of, quote, the Ohio Voters' Bill of Rights, end quote, still does not fairly and truthfully explain the proposed amendment. He also took issue with the title. The group behind the amendment says they have dutifully complied with Yost previously and adds they will keep fighting.
Trump is getting involved in the dispute over the Texas border. The former president is urging lawmakers to reject a bipartisan deal that would provide funds to help increase border security. Just this week, Trump said he wants to center his campaign around immigration. House Republicans who back Trump say they have already have said that they won't compromise.
That he wants a perfect deal, so do I on it. But we've got to be able to figure out how to be able to do something right now.
If a compromise isn't reached soon, the bill could die in Congress.
Sorry about that. Trying to get this back up. Well, we're going to be looking at definitely some rain going into this weekend. Finally, it's going to work. That 54 degrees that we're currently facing, those overcast skies like we've been having throughout the day. Looking at these regional radar for these last 24 hours is those cloud cover that we've been experiencing over this 24 hours. Now we're looking at this next system to come in. We're going to be looking at Athens right now. This is just some light rain cover. Most of this is just some dense humidity that we're seeing. But as we're looking at the big picture, you're really seeing how large this system is that is coming into our area, which is giving us this flood watch for this weekend going into Saturday into Sunday. Well, before that, we're going to be having an overnight low of 40 tonight, those mostly cloudy skies. We're going to be looking at that flood watch, like I was saying, Saturday starting at about 1 until Sunday looking at about 10 a.m. That is whenever we're going to be getting the most of this rain that is going to be coming in. That low pressure system that we had kind of made its way out, and now it's creating a new one, giving us another view of some warmer air. Not as warm as it has been these last couple of days, but definitely on the higher than seasonal scale. Tomorrow, that temperature high of 59 and that temperature low of 39. That 60% chance of rain going into tomorrow is going to be translating on here. We're going to be seeing 12 hours ahead, still a little bit of rain. We're going to be seeing it more as we're going into 24 hours and 36 hours ahead. You're going to be seeing that Nashville is going to be getting hit pretty hard going into 24 hours this time tomorrow. And once we're looking at 36 hours, that is whenever we're going to be starting to see it leach onto Ohio. That low pressure system is really going to be staying more south of Ohio, giving some pretty intense rain to parts of Virginia and West Virginia even. But when we're looking at Ohio, that Ohio border is kind of where it's starting to ease off, giving us a little bit less rain and thankfully not snow like Northwest Ohio. Looking at Sunday, it is most of the east that is going to be getting this rain. Then we're going to have a little break, that high pressure system. We're going to be still seeing some clouds. And then we're looking at some more rain as we're going into later in the week. That 7-day outlook, you can see that Sunday, that 90% chance of rain. That's whenever we're going to be seeing the bulk of it. It'll be Monday, those mostly cloudy skies, not that rain anymore, that high of 40 degrees. Then it's going to be raising once again, that high of 45 on Tuesday, those couple days of showers. And then looking at this time next week, we're going to be in that warm up once again on Thursday, the high of 47, and then Friday, that high of 48. We're going to be keeping that umbrella around for these next few days and definitely going to be missing that sunshine in these next couple of days as well. Let's take it back to Cameron.
It's a busy night. It's a busy night around the area for some high school basketball teams. Thankfully, we have Lucy Schaefer at Meigs High School to break it all down. Lucy, it looks like it's popping in Pomeroy once again. Sorry about that. It looks like we can't get Lucy's audio, but we'll try again later.
Well, coming up next, a new form of capital punishment is starting an ethical argument. And for the latest from Newswatch, follow us on X, formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube.
The president's intent was to stay in power at all costs.
This election was stolen.
I flat out said, I swore an oath. I'm not going to break it. I'm not putting on no stinking circus.
They put their faith in Donald Trump, and he deceived them.
I don't think by any large stretch can you characterize it as bipartisan.
The Select Committee laid the path down for the Department of Justice.
Donald Trump is going to be the defendant and the candidate. It's hard to imagine how it's going to play out.
Tuesday at 9 on WOUB.
We're creating a mixed income community. Being low income shouldn't bar you from experiencing a higher quality of life.
I have grown up in a journalism environment where I was frequently the only woman in the room.
At some points, a row of trees went in.
I feel segregated. They were planted to hide this community.
We live in a virtual reality world. Everybody everywhere knows what's going on. So people are aware that there's a problem here.
I wanted her story told, and I felt good that I was the one that was able to tell it.
I know how to do other things to survive.
Rise up and say, you know what? Enough is enough.
We cover all the angles. We report the facts. We find clarity. PBS is here, delivering the credible, reliable, thoughtful election coverage you need to make informed decisions. PBS, your trusted election source.
A new era of capital punishment, with the White House calling the events troubling. This follows Alabama executing a death row inmate last night with a new method, nitrogen gas.
With one lethal sentence now carried out, dozens more U.S. inmates wait to see if they'll face execution in the same way. Laura Aguirre with more as the legal and ethical debate intensifies.
As of last night, nitrogen epoxy as a means of execution is no longer an untested method. It is a proven one.
Alabama is now the first state in the country to execute an inmate using nitrogen gas. Convicted murderer 58-year-old Kenneth Smith was put to death just before 8:30 p.m. Central Time Thursday. The state's attorney general commending the Department of Corrections on their actions.
They are the first team in the country to carry out nitrogen execution, and what occurred last night was textbook.
Nothing was out of the ordinary what we were expecting.
That was absolute torture, and torture is evil.
Kenneth Smith's spiritual advisor witnessed the execution.
When they turned the nitrogen on, he began to convulse. He popped up on the gurney over and over and over again. It's wrong to torture people. It's wrong to experiment on people. But that's what I saw.
The United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights agrees, saying in a statement Friday that Smith's execution may amount to torture or cruel, inhuman, or degrading treatment. The sons of Smith's victim feel their mother's memory was overshadowed.
Everybody's forgot about the woman in Colbert County. Her name's Elizabeth Sennett. He killed her.
I also want to apologize to them for how long it took for this sentence to be carried out.
Oklahoma and Mississippi have also approved nitrogen hypoxia as a means of execution. They just haven't used it yet.
To my colleagues across the country, many of which were watching last night, Alabama has done it, and now so can you.
I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
Is still legal in Ohio, and more than 100 inmates sit on death row, according to the Ohio Department of Rehabilitation and Correction.
And Ohio has not yet approved the use of nitrogen hypoxia as a form of execution.
Coming up next, we check in again with Lucy in Pomeroy. But first, here's a look at what's coming up tonight on your public television station.
Week 1 is in the books, and we have plenty more where that came from. Conference races are heating up, and we have some big matchups coming up this week. The Lady Buckeyes headed to the Dog Pound in Athens. Fed Hawk and Belfry boys meet for a battle at the top of the Hawking. We're looking at some serious shakeups in the standings, and we'll have it all right here. Make sure to be back here next week on Sunday at 11 p.m. and Monday at 6 p.m. And as always, we're reminding you to be heroic.
We have news.
Big news.
Very good. Whatever happens, we'll be together.
The evidence is compelling.
I'd expect nothing less. Congratulations, Eliza. Murder, extortion, gun running.
Things are looking up. Grab onto the things you love and try and cherish every moment. There's nowhere else in the world I'd rather be.
What could possibly go wrong?
Where do I sign?
Sunday on WOUB.
Hey, it's your old car here. Remember me? Remember us? You barely even turn me on anymore. It's clear you don't need me, but that's perfectly fine, my friend, because you can choose to give this old car new purpose and donate. Vehicles like me can bring significant funds to public television. So call or donate online. Donating a vehicle is easy, the pickup is free, and your gift is tax-deductible.
Deep in a tropical rainforest, there is a search for giants.
In the beginning, all you see are the shadows.
Western lowland gorillas, the stuff of legend, and rarely seen in the wild. Today, they've just welcomed a precious new addition to the group. Follow along for a rare look at life in this troop of forest giants.
Wednesday at 8 on WOUB.
It's a busy night around the area for some high school basketball teams. Thankfully, we have Lucy Schaefer at Meigs High School to break it all down. Lucy, looks like it's popping in Pomeroy once again.
It sure is, Cam, and I'm so sorry about those audio issues, but let me catch you up.
I'm here with Nelsonville York and Megs for a thrilling matchup, but first we have to talk about last night when Era Levy broke the record for all-time scoring points. Senior Era Levy broke the record for all-time scoring at Nelsonville York with 1,532 points in her career. The moment came in the fourth quarter after the Buckeyes had kept a slight edge on the Marauders all game. When the guard shot and made the three that would seal the deal, the crowd erupted and the game was put on hold. The first half for the Buckeyes was slow, but Era was on fire all game. She finished with 30 total points in their 58-45 victory over Megs. The NY crew caught up with Levy after the game, and she described how much this moment meant to her.
Happy I got it on my home court. Definitely good for all my family and friends to be here, and I couldn't be here without my team. And of course my dad was on the bench, anxious the whole game. I kept looking over, he's like nervous. Kim told me he was about to throw up, so yeah, I know he's very proud of me, and all my family and friends here is just great.
Transitioning into tonight's games, we have quite the slate for you, so let's get into these cross-conference matchups. Now, first, we start with Belpre, where the 8-5 Golden Eagles host the 9-5 Federal Hawking Lancers. Tonight will be a huge test for Belpre because tonight will be the end of their 2-week break from the court. Weather cancellations have prevented the Golden Eagles from any matchups in the past 2 weeks. Their last matchup was a 52-37 win at Waterford on January 12th. Now, a different story for the Lancers, however, they're coming off a 72-65 win at Nelsonville York on Tuesday. Then in Gloucester, the 2-7 Eastern Eagles meet the 10-4 Trimble Tomcats. Eastern has been struggling this season, beginning with a 9-game losing streak where they just couldn't finish the job. They got their first win at Point Pleasant on January 2nd and their second one last week versus Wellston. Trimble is on a 3-game win streak, offensively topping River Valley, Nelsonville York, and Miller the past 2 weeks. We'll see if they can bring that win streak to the court tonight. And now I am here, Nelsonville York and Megs. These two teams have dominated the court all season, so let's take a look at what this matchup might look like. Now, Nelsonville York is coming off 10-6, coming off 2 straight losses to Trimble last week and Federal Hawking on Tuesday. But don't let this fool you. These games were single-digit losses, and before playing Trimble, the Buckeyes were on a 6-game win streak. Keegan Swope poses a threat to the Marauders tonight, leading the team offensively and defensively all season. Now, Megs, on the other hand, is on a 10-game win streak, sitting at 11-2 on the season. Week 1, both their games against Belpre and Benton County were postponed to mid-February, so their win against Athens this past Tuesday was the first game since January 12th at River Valley. The boys also lost star senior Braylon Harrison to injury back in early December, so we've seen young stars such as Reed Bringer and Kaden Dean continue to rise up all season. Now, that's all I have for you. I'm going to throw it back to the studio.
Thanks, Lucy. To follow along with all these games, follow Hardwood Heroes on social media or go to woub.org/heroes. Finally tonight, a police department in Dayton is going above and beyond the badge to deliver justice in the form of Paw Patrol toys. After a 4-year-old had his birthday gift stolen at a trampoline park in Huber Heights, officers decided they would surprise the little boy with all new birthday gifts. That's all I have for that. We're going to go to Isabel Isco for the weather.
Yes, looking at that last look of weather currently out there, 54 degrees and overcast skies. We're going to be looking at tonight at that 40-degree low in those mostly cloudy skies like we've been experiencing all day today. Going into that flood watch, we're going to be seeing over tomorrow starting at about 1. So make sure to get any of your outside plans done before that, so then you could enjoy not having to be outside during this flood watch tomorrow with that 60% chance of rain, that temperature high of 49 and that temperature low of 39. We're going to be looking at these next 3 days. Sunday, that 90% chance of rain. That's whenever the most of the rain we're going to be getting is tomorrow. Looking at that 7-day outlook, we're going to be experiencing those couple days of rain, then some more rain looking into the rest of next week.
That does it for our broadcast this evening. Thank you so much for watching. For Lucy Schaefer and Isabel Isco, I'm Cameron Nutt.
And I'm Haley Swaino. Stay tuned to the PBS NewsHour coming up next. And remember, you can find the latest news anytime at woub.org, or you can follow us on social media. Have a great night.